is Richard, and hey everyone, this is Richard, and this is Beyond the Castle Wall. It is an attempt to experiment with the Beyond the Wall system to create something that is a little less like the traditional Beyond the Wall stories, which are inspired by Ursula Le Guin and Lloyd Alexander and Susan Cooper, and to push into some of the more dark fantasy tropes that are kind of explored by Jar Jar Martin and Game of Thrones. I got this idea because the brilliant Maria Rivera gave it to me, and was really glad to get this on the calendar and begin seeing how this emerges and plays out. I have 4 very brave players who I am already very fond of, who are kind of with us for this experiment, and I'm going to let them introduce themselves and introduce their characters to you just briefly, and then I'm going to stop and walk back through their biographies in a little more depth, and ask them a lot of probing questions. But just for start, just a short introduction to the player and a short introduction to the character. And I'll start with Mark.
Hi, I'm Mark. I'm actually relatively new to OSR. I've played D&D before, but not the OSR games. I'm excited to give this a try. I'm also normally a GM, so I will try to keep my mouth shut and do what I'm told, like a good player should. I am playing Lyssa. The class that I have chosen is Forgotten Child. I am a twin to Maria's character, but being female, I am not as high in the line of succession. So I guess I am third, unless something else comes up. And things that make her cool are that her grandmother taught her the language of crows, which is considered to be a demonic thing, and she's keeping that hidden. And she has a map of the castle that she knows very well, and she will not betray the family. That's a line she won't cross. And she is, as a 17-year-old girl, also finding that she is now starting to be attracted to women, and that is also not allowed. So she stays out of the way and out of people's sight so that she doesn't get judged.
Very nice. And then I'll move over to Christo. And introduce yourself, Christo, and introduce your character.
I'm Christo. I'm one of the GMs that runs Urban Shadows for the Gauntlet. Let's see. I'm playing Stigender Wolfsig, and he goes by Stig. He is he's a sorcerer's apprentice. He comes from common folk. His parents were actually tavern keepers, and they taught him hospitality, if you will. But then he was apprenticed to. Then something happened, and they died. And he was apprenticed to a sorcerer. And that's what led to the many things that happened to him after that, which I think we'll find out during play.
You made it.
Moving on. Sorry, it took me a second to get over to the right window. Moving on to Leandro. Go ahead and introduce us to you.
Yeah, hi, I'm Leandro. I'm new to the Gauntlet. This is my second ever game, so new I'm still able to keep count. Also, I'm new to role playing, so I have no idea what OSR even is. So that's how new I am. I just saw this and thought, that'd be cool. And so far, it's been cool. My character's name is Gloria. She is the god haunted, which means she was an odd one where the voices of the old gods have been with her since she was a kid, which I guess she still is. She's the youngest of this group. She's 16, and she grew up with mercenaries. It was kind of like a communal sort of raising, I guess, is what the idea I have so far. Like they all raised her, but she kind of drifted away because a nobleman saw, I don't know, what she could do and decided to, I don't know, sponsor her, which I think that's something we'll flesh out more later on. She's, yeah, and that's the most I got so far at the moment. Well, we'll flesh out more later, hopefully.
You're also muted.
Maria.
All right. So, hi, I'm Maria. I do stuff for the Gauntlet and part of the Gauntlet, whatever. um, my character is Aitor. He's, like Mark said, the second in line of this unnamed, as of yet, unnamed family. He's kind of a jerkish, like in terms of like what I'm thinking his personality is. Like his ideal is YOLO, pretty much. His line is that he won't make bastards. Uh, his flags are that he is. So allow me to go head first into danger, even though the odds are against me, and challenge my leadership if I make a decision that goes poorly. So he's kind of like the he tries to kind of like live up to the fullest, live life to the fullest, but also uh I think we'll flesh this out more as we create the castle, but he's also like interested in the politics of the whole court.
All right. So Maria, I'm going to start with you. I'd like you to kind of you know we or I worked on these playbooks and sort of adjusted them. I'd like you to kind of walk me a little bit, through your playbook, what the questions were and what the answers you rolled or selected you didn't were, and what you learned about your character. And I'm going to ask you some questions as you go.
Right.
I'm going to leave myself off mute because I'm going to be filling in the sort of the Q&A document.
All right. So my childhood reputation was overhead, so I climbed everything, I guess. it gave me climbing skills and stuff. Well, when I was paying attention at court, I learned politics, hence why my character is interested in politics right now.
I've got a real quick question for you just about the castle. What is the tallest building in the castle, the one you frequently got in trouble for attempting to climb?
I think there's a watchtower in the castle somewhere.
Nice.
So,
do people currently use it, or is it one you have to kind of climb to get into?
I think the latter. You have to climb to get into it. Hence why I was climbing it.
Nice. Okay.
All right. Do you have a question about politics?
No, go ahead about politics and tell me a little bit about that, and keep moving from there.
So yeah, I learned that not everyone I respect can be trusted. It says so. With whom did I rendezvous discreetly? The wine merchants, because I am the wild one. Well, not just because I'm the wild one. That is my playbook, but but that is the people I rendezvous with frequently.
So 2 quick questions. Who was the person who taught you couldn't trust them? And who is your favorite wine merchant?
I think for the politics question is I think my brother, my older brother.
What's your elder brother's name?
I'm bad with names.
That's okay.
Tristan?
Tristan?
I guess. Yeah,
Nice.
That's the first one that came to mind.
That's a perfect one. So, young Lord Tristan, heir apparent, untrustworthy. What has he done that sort of makes and this is I'm gonna turn this question back on your twin. I'm gonna turn this question back on your twin, Lyssa, and the two of you can both tell me one thing that you think. What is something that has made you not trust Tristan? I'd like to hear from each of you. It just in brief. It doesn't have to be detailed. That's directed at both Maria and Mark for Lyssa and Aitor.
Yeah. I was waiting for Mark, but if you don't have an answer right now, do you have an answer right now, Mark?
I'm thinking. I've got.
Yeah, I'm thinking as well. I might tie this into the line my character won't cross, if that makes sense.
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah, I think he's hired a bastard, and it's like, no, I'm not doing that shit. And I saw what he did to cover it up, and it was like, nah, I'm not doing that.
At some point, I met an oracle or a seer, and they told me that he would bring ruin to the family. And that's why I don't trust him.
Is this just this oracle? Is this like an important religious figure, or is this just like the village fortune teller, or somewhere in between?
Well, one of the things on my character selection is a group of religious dissidents.
Oh, nice.
So one of them, they pursue the religion, but they don't. But they eschew the temple.
Nice. Okay. Fantastic. Aitor, who is your favorite wine merchant?
Marissa.
Marissa. And what is it about like buying from Marissa that's so fantastic?
I think it's that she one, she gets me, two, she lets me drink to stupor pretty much sometimes.
Nice. Okay.
Like everyone else is like, no, don't drink that much, and she's like, fine, let him drink whatever. Oh, sorry, I should continue.
Yeah, go ahead.
So who taught me how to fight? An old mercenary who serves my parents. Name. Let me think of a name. Xander.
Nice. Okay. Perfect.
And next question is, how did I finally earn the court's respect? And I rolled rivals attacked when my parents were away at court, and I assumed control and drove them back. Well, clearly, because Tristan wasn't going to do jack shit.
Right.
So, do you have any questions on that?
No, but I'm going to make a note of it.
All right. And next question is, my parents threw a tourney and I entered in secret. What happened there? And what happened is I revealed myself after winning the prize and turned down the reward. The character to my right, which is Lyssa, kept my secret in return for a prize and gains +1 wisdom. And we were discussing that the prize is keeping her secret, which is that she knows the language of crows. And then no questions after about that. The last question is, one night I went deeper beneath the family's castle than ever before into long abandoned dungeons, tunnels, and crypts. What did I find? And I found my family's ancient standard, somewhat tattered but still bright. Any?
Hold on 1 second. I just need to make a quick note of that. All right. I think that's it for now. I'm probably going to work you into a couple of other people's questions though as we proceed forward. But thank you.
All right.
Oh, and real quickly, primarily aiming this at Aitor and Lyssa, what is your family's name?
That is a good question. I don't know. Mark, do you have any?
Anybody can make a suggestion too if you're struggling. So.
Let me see if my book of names has anything interesting.
Awesome. I can also pop in the fantasy name generator.
How about dressed?
Dressed. How does that sound to everybody else? D-R-Z-T or D-R-S-T?
D-R-E-S-T.
Oh, like the drow guy with the scimitars.
No, I didn't think he had a.
D-R-E-S-T, like that, where in my character sheet.
Yeah.
Okay.
You like that? It could be Drestfall if you like.
Drestfall?
Mhm.
Okay. I like Drestfall.
Okay.
Does that work for you, Mark?
Mm-hmm.
All right. What do you call the castle?
Crow's Watch.
Is there a separate name for the town beyond, or is it also called Crow's Watch?
Is this just for me?
It's for anybody.
Oh, okay.
I can pick on somebody if you need me to. But.
How about one of the plebs answers?
Oh, we're going that way, are we? Let's see.
It's hard to overcome. It's hard to overcome an aristocratic sense of privilege.
Where are we located? Would be my question. Are we in
the
far north? Or are we?
Since it's a watch, it seems like you're on a mountainside. I would guess, or you're in some sort of high ground. Does that sound about right?
Okay. Then
Does that sound right to everybody else?
Mountain sounds good to me.
Okay.
Then how about Stone's Pass?
I like it.
I think Christo had a good question. Are you guys in the far north, or are you more in the middle of your kingdom? Are you somewhere off on an island?
I think north, but not super far north.
But maybe we could be like near the ocean as well.
Oh, awesome.
Because you just want to be cold and clammy, right? Okay, I get it. I sort of fits. We'll just be constant, and that will give us fog, which could just be oh so cool.
And old gods that want to drown you.
Nice. All right. What's on the far side of the mountains that people want to go to?
So So a bit of a map making thing. Where's the ocean and where's the pass?
Usually the ocean would be to your east or west. Does that sound about right? Which one do you think it is?
West. We're on the west coast. Close to the west coast, I guess.
Where the weather's better. Far side of the mountains. What's when you cross the mountains to the north? What do you get?
A pilgrimage site.
We can explore that later. And just for my own, I think the mountains are forested, like pretty heavily, densely forested. Does that sound about right to people?
Yes.
Right. And circling back around, Leonardo, would you walk me through sort of your character playbook and tell me what questions you answered and how you answered them? And I'm going to have some questions for you.
Yeah. My first one was my child reputation was clever. I think Gloria was someone who definitely ate up a lot of information as they travel around because her family's real trade is mercenaries. I'm imagining this sort of like like I mentioned, it was a communal thing. It was like she was probably the only kid born to this group that was very, very, they're very tight knit. Like they shared a lot of stuff together. They traveled around together. So
did this mercenary work for the Drestfall? Did your company, did your parents' company work for the Drestfall?
They're definitely a freelancing type. They could have at one point. That's probably why. That's probably how when Gloria found her way there. But yeah, they would have worked around.
Are they related to Xander, the guy who trained me?
They maybe they could. But the thing is, yeah, maybe they could because like the thing with this mercenaries, they have their reputations. They're very professional. They don't like to make a mess. They're like no, only kill when you need to. Always follow the letter. They're very upfront that you're not going to get rabble. You're going to get some very well trained people.
So so it seems like Xander, who was good at his job, may have once been a mercenary, and maybe left about the same time you did. Does that sound about right?
Maybe, yeah. Because like the next question is what led you away from home and brought you to court, and what I had is aristocratic confidences. You did jobs for one noble family until their rivals noted your true potential. So,
nice.
Okay, so it might not been like the Drestfalls were not like my mercenary group, which I need to come up with a name for. Work for Drestfall is more like a rival family. We were working for a rival family of the Drestfalls, and one of them noticed perhaps they needed someone to train their unruly second son, and also there's this clever seeming girl who claims the gods speak for her. That could be something.
So you and Xander sort of came here to settle down.
Yeah.
Okay. Who is this other family?
Sorry, the internet dropped. What did you say?
Oh, sorry. Who is the other family who you worked for?
Ooh.
I can toss you out a link to the fantasy name generator. I think that sometimes helps.
Hold on.
What chat link? And there's I usually when I'm stuck I just go Mox. But there's all sorts of options there for you.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna say the Lysanders.
Lysanders. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, the Lysanders, and I think whatever the reputation of the Drestfall is, they'd be the opposite. So, what would the Drestfalls be like as they would be known?
You guys tell me. What are the Drestfalls known for? And I would encourage you to pitch it in morally ambiguous terms, or slightly more morally ambiguous terms. You know, things that would have an upside and a downside.
Well, I was going to say that the name itself might indicate, if we're on a mountain, that there's actually a large waterfall.
Okay. No, so what is the family known for?
So, for a family where...
But I want to get that location down.
So, a family where the roguish child would be not noticeable and the warrior-esque child would be wild, quote unquote. I think they might be more like inclined to either faith or magic, I think.
Okay. I was going to suggest they might also be a little more political.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, Fate and Magical. Okay, so I'm thinking that their rivals be like the Lysanders. They're people who very much believe in commerce, in economics. They're down on their luck, but they think that they can claw their way back to respectability by engaging in political muckraking, business and whatnot. They don't like the Drestfalls who've managed to, I guess, they're unruly, I guess, but managed to keep, their place in their hierarchy in the kingdom because some reason, and the Lysanders really don't like that.
So you're suggesting the demon that Stig helped banish was not possibly the first demon summoned inside of Crow's Watch.
Ooh.
Since there's kind of a dark reputation. There's an arcane reputation, an eldritch reputation.
Mm.
And also
which may not be evil.
And also the fact that it was grandmother who taught Lyssa how to talk to crows to begin with.
Nice. Okay. They're like the Lysanders are all into commerce and going. And real other quick question: what is the name of the Lysander castle in the town that surrounds it? We'll assume they have the same name.
Ooh. What would they call it? Be something very straightforward. Well, I'm gonna look up castle names because
It could be something like Eastport or something like that.
Yeah,
That sounds lovely.
They're on the East Coast and we're on the West Coast.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and keep going on, Gloria.
Okay. Yeah. A few more. It's a question here. When you came of age, you began to hear the gods. What first caused them to speak to you? Mine was the miller's daughter was badly injured in an accident. Heeding the voice of a god, you tend her back to health when all others thought it was a lost cause. And yeah, I think that might be kind of moment to start breaking away from her family / mercenary group of very serious, we don't deal with accidents and with sort of thing. But this very otherworldly voice in her head just told her now she can help this girl, and she did, apparently.
So, who is the miller's daughter, and why is she in Stone's Pass now?
The miller's daughter, we could say she's quite young, or maybe preteens, maybe 11 or 12, and her name is Yulia. It's Yulia. And why would she be in Stone's Pass? I'm thinking maybe the miller's place was ruined in whatever action the mercenary group, Gloria's mercenary group, was maybe rooting out some bandits that ransacked the place, and
Nice. Okay.
yeah, and her family had to move to Stone's Pass.
And have you thought of a name for your mercenary group?
Sorry, the internet dropped again.
Have you thought of a name for your mercenary group?
I was thinking the Sable Scythe.
Nice.
Yeah. So they're very serious. They wear black, and Scythe is all. I don't know if it's a precise instrument, but it sounds cool enough, I guess.
Right?
Yeah.
Just because you're named for it doesn't mean everybody uses one.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, the Sable Scythe, and should I keep going? That's like two or three more
Go
questions
ahead,
here.
please.
Okay. What magic have you learned in your visions and dreams? Gloria's learned the gifts of the old holy wanderers. So she's known spells like obscurement, mage armor, and the cantrip hexing. So basically, like there are like people who just like to travel the world back when the world was a bit more primordial, less well known. And I guess yeah, these are, and also this kind of like what inspired her to like maybe she can go around more without having to pal around with mercenaries, I guess. Like, it inspired her to wander as well. And the next question after that is it is the player relationship one. When you were in most need, you were able to draw on the magic the gods thought the player to your right was there with you, which is Aitor. Yeah, I think. Well, I think we'll first have to determine how Gloria came to Stones. Well, yeah, I guess we already determined that with Xander and Stones Pass. So I guess Aitor knew Gloria while he was training with Xander, and they would be like, say, before this incident, which I mentioned. I think they were just they just knew their names. It was casual acquaintances, and the answer I got here is: a drunken visiting noble tried to start trouble with you one night. You made him tremble at the god's power, and yet the character Tirat was with you, and Aitor was with Gloria when Gloria confronted the troublemaker. And yeah, it was very much a visiting noble, whoever was, I think Gloria's reputation as a god-haunted child who speaks to the old gods is kind of known in Stone's Pass
Mm-hmm.
to be a bit of an oddity. So there would be people trying to make mess with her, and what she did to shut up this noble, it was basically, I think I explained it. It is like that Lord of the Rings, Gandalf scolding Bilbo scene. Yeah, do not take me for a conjurer of cheap tricks. Just like a forceful gaze, and that noble felt that, and Aitor presumably felt that as well.
Who was the visiting noble that you taught a lesson to?
If we're gonna go full Game of Thrones, it'd be someone from the lily-livered South visiting up north.
I think right now we just need a they're from the South, and
Yeah.
we just need a family and first name.
Okay. His name is Randall. Randall. What's a good last name? Randall Westerfield. No, that's not West.
No.
Yeah, that's a name, I guess.
Westerfield is a great name.
Okay, yeah. His name's Randall Westerfield. He's probably he is no one important. Well, I guess in the north he wouldn't be anyone important.
Right. That find out how important he is in the South if we need to, but we'll see how that sort of works out. And is that all your questions? Or, you've got one more.
One more, yeah. Yeah, finally we get through this. The last question is: which god has appeared most in your dreams? It's a divinity of agriculture, fertility, marriage, and the underworld, and their name is Kyrie. It's Kyrie. I'm not determined a personality or a sort of presence. It is mostly a voice, and I guess that name is known.
That's great.
I guess that's a name that's known.
Is that a male or female god? Or
I don't want to keep it ambiguous at the moment. Maybe leaning to female.
And I think one thing we don't play with enough in a fantasy gaming is gods who have different manifestations.
Hmm.
It's not to put on you, just to suggest that maybe as you figure things out, it's possible that there's more than
Okay.
one way that Kyrie presents themselves.
Okay. That's something we'll figure out in play, hopefully.
Yeah. Awesome. And last, or not last but not least, we're only number 2. Christo, I'm going to have you kind of walk through as the third person, kind of walking through their playbook.
Oh, and unfortunately, did it actually close? Hold on.
Oh no!
It's got to be open. I have so many things open. How can it not be open? There we go. Found it. Okay.
If you need it again, I can find it. So.
Stig. So let's talk about Stig. So Stig. So as I said, his family were innkeepers that taught me that customers should be happy and the goblet's full. But then they died. And then
Oh no! How did they die?
That's a really good question. I want to say that the tavern burned down. And it probably burned down while he was out for some reason. So that's how Stig managed to survive. But I think behind the scenes, it was probably the sorcerer burned it down so that he could get Stig as an apprentice.
Oh, creepy.
He was that kind of guy. And he pretended it was all noblesse that he took Stig, this poor commoner, in, to help him out. My master, one of the other things that showed.
What was the sorcerer's name? Let's give that old asshole the name.
I guess it's actually Aki Sigmunder. Let me put it in chat. I'll make it easier.
Missing Vizier is. Oh, let's put it in chat.
Yeah, I'll put it in chat if I can find the right chat window. There we go. Sigmunder is a good classic name. And I was using a random name generator. This is not me being brilliantly creative.
There are enough instances of you being brilliant and creative.
You silver-tongued devil, you.
I know.
Oh.
Aki is the missing Vizier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He was also the court. He served the court as a spy. I'm not quite sure how that worked.
When you're the Vizier.
Well, and that's what I was thinking about, because with all the
you have your fingers and everything.
Yeah, maybe he was a spy. Maybe he scryed. Maybe that's how, if there was merchant stuff and we got these passes, maybe he was scrying to sort of see what the others were doing.
And sometimes you send your apprentice to spy on people and then tell them you scryed on them.
There's that too.
Not that that's necessarily what happened, but that could be something he planned to do.
He was a mean old dude, a wily old dude. He was also the master of wild beasts, and so I have some beast spells, and I get to have a familiar. And the familiar I was looking to take was a raven.
That sounds lovely. That's awesome. What is your raven's name?
Oh, I haven't named him. You got me. I'll call him. What would be a good raven name?
Crow. Oh wait, no, never mind.
How about Ebony?
Ebony. Nice. So Aki Sigmunder, Master of Wild Beast, gives you another lot of opportunities to spy on people.
Well, and I guess that's my question. I wasn't clear from the spell. How do I interact with it? Do I speak to it? Do I see through its eyes?
Let me take a look at this. Let me take a look at the spell.
Take a look at it again. Also, I read through it so quickly. I just glanced
Yeah.
at it. More focused on summoning than what it did.
Let me really quickly take a look at that. That should be a fancy.
I can find it. We can go. We can continue.
Uh,
Here we go. Bind familiar. It's very smart. It's smart as a human, which is really interesting. As the average human.
They communicate with you in an odd combination of animal noises, human speech, and body language. You can see through the eyes of your familiar if you concentrate intensely on doing so. You'll never allow yourselves to be far apart.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool. So I can see through their eyes. That is
right. Awesome. And you can communicate with them, though it's not like a silent telepathy type. And you have an interdependent or interreliant relationship. Nice. So keep going from there. I'm sorry.
So, well, I guess that explains how we're spies. My master disappeared a month ago, devoured by a demon from whom they sought knowledge. And that, as we discussed, that was the three of us. He was going to sacrifice, I guess it was Gloria and Lyssa. And and I stopped him by basically sacrificing him in their place by disrupting the summoning spell. But I think that would mean that if I broke the circle, then the demon's probably still out there.
May have gotten full and gone back to hell.
Well, and actually, the ideal you cling to: ward the doors, ready the spells. The demon is coming.
Yeah. Could you tell me how the name you know that demon by?
Ooh. Yeah, I guess I should know the name of the demon.
You may not know the true name of the demon. You know the name. You know the demon by.
The common name.
Yeah.
The common's name being.
Or maybe just a title it has.
Let's call it Whisper. No, Whisper. I'm gonna have to think about that. I don't quite have it. It's not coming to me unless somebody has a good suggestion.
You said Whisper.
Mm-hmm.
Whispertongue.
Oh, Whispertongue's good. I like that. Thank you.
All right.
And so the last question I had was what I got out of it. And so all I got out of it was a collection of books on a language I don't know.
Nice. Okay.
That'll keep me busy.
And I apologize for going back to you, Gloria. What was the last thing you learned on your set of tables again? I know I asked you that before, and I think I forgot to write something down.
Yeah, it's the which god has appeared most in my dreams.
Right. Gotcha. Kyrie. So thank you. Did you get any objects from Kyrie? Or was that
a silver spoon. I think that's what it says here on the table anyway.
Nice. Okay. How do you think the silver spoon is associated with Kyrie? Is it plenty? Is it something else?
Let's see. Kyrie is a divinity of agriculture and fertility. I think it's like measurement, I guess. It's like,
nice.
Also,
okay.
Yeah, it's also the underworld. It's like, I guess it's allegorical. Like, it's the Kyrie is the divinity that measures life, because they rule over, get marriage as well, and the underworld. And the spoon is like totemic of that.
Nice. Okay.
Also, if you're into it, in the real world, silver forks and knives and spoons, stuff like that, and chopsticks will change color when poison is present.
Oh.
So that's one of the reasons why people use silverware, was to detect poison. So
I think it was specific to arsenic, wasn't it?
My knowledge is what I just told you. So a very specific poison would make a lot of sense.
As the group's sorcerer, I'll tell you that it's arsenic.
Okay, rock on.
Okay.
both in real life and in the game.
Shh, you're giving away my secret identity.
All right. Thank you. And then I think we're going to move on to our last but not least, Mark.
Yay.
As Lyssa.
I like being not least.
You're definitely not least.
Okay. So, my childhood reputation, my brother was overfoot, I was underfoot. So overhead, got it. So I am always everywhere I'm not supposed to be, and I gained stealth from that.
What was the most interesting place you got into in the castle without being discovered? That you definitely were not supposed to be.
There so I think I'm really interested in like the old and new religions and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I think the temple of the new religion has confessions. And I found a secret passageway that would let me listen in on confessions.
What did you learn as a child that maybe pressed on against what children are supposed to know?
Well, people are disgusting, first of all. What about you? Want like a specific piece of knowledge?
Yeah, something that would be a little intimidating.
Intimidating?
Or disturbing, or especially to a child.
Okay.
Weird things to disturb children.
Sure. Let's see. I learned that my father had very interesting ways of relieving stress. And it involved him having someone hurt him. So kind of like flagellation.
What is Lord Drestfall's first name?
Dad.
Anybody can chime in on that if you're stuck. So.
Oh, Hector.
Hector. Does that sound good?
Hector sounds great.
Awesome. All right, Lord Hector.
Yeah, Lord Dad was kind of silly. So.
That's yeah.
Lord Father. Okay, next up.
Also, what is Lord Hector's title? I mean, so everybody who's noble is Lord blah blah blah. Title of. What is his title? Baron? Is it Count? Is it Jarl?
I like Count, but I don't know what it means.
Count is pretty low. Hold
up.
Count of the North. Outside of in England, the equivalent is Earl, and it's the second, I think, to Duke.
Duke's pretty cool.
Duke is pretty high up, so yes, Duke. I like Duke.
Awesome. Duke of the North. And just We get it in there. Who is Lord Hector's current wife, and is that you guys' mom?
Elizabeth. Because let's go with a generic name.
Perfectly good. Is she your mom?
What do you think, Maria?
I want to say she's our mom, but not Tristan's.
Wow. Okay.
His mom died,
Okay.
so yeah, he remarried.
Thank you. And what else have you got for us, Lyssa?
Next up is when I was paying attention at court. What did I learn?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. Let me go back to my character sheet. I wrote all this down, but I've forgotten.
Okay.
It says charm on your character sheet.
Learned at court charm. Thank you. Okay. Land, reputation, and warriors are all useful things. A good smile and a winning personality, though, can get you farther. So I learned charm.
Next.
With whom do I rendezvous discreetly? That would be with the religious dissidents. Their strange bacchanalian rites and disdain for conventional temples fascinate me. Including their oracular.
Who is the oracle of the religious dissonance, and who is the high priest of the Crow's Watch Temple?
Okay, so the oracle of the religious dissidents. Let's see. Nineveh. Nineveh.
Nice.
And the head priest of the ruling religion.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Kemp. Kemp. Grace Kemp.
Awesome. Okay. Got that in. And go ahead. I'm sorry. Didn't mean
No
to
worries.
interrupt you.
Okay. So, no one knows my father's keep like I do. What is my favorite secret spot in the castle? Well, it's funny that you chose this before, Maria, but I rolled at the top of the highest tower where I hide with my dinner whenever I can. So you tried to climb it, and I do climb it.
To be fair, I tried to climb it when I was like, what, 7?
Right. And I think I decided that I had to be better at it, and ever since it's been my little place.
What is the name of that high tower?
scrape.
Maybe crow's nest.
I'll go with both. People call it both of those.
Awesome. Go ahead.
Okay. When I get the chance, I frequently like to read on my own. What is my favorite book in the library? I like to read engineering texts showing the interlocked workings of pulleys, levers, ropes, and gears. I'm an engineer.
Nice. It reminds us what I think that your connection was. The Grand Vizier was trying to involve you and Gloria in a ritual against your will, and it was Stig who knew how to stop the ritual.
Right.
So I think we know a little bit about that. What was the last thing on the character sheet?
The last thing on my character sheet, I got two more.
Okay.
But one of them we've already talked about.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. We jumped past the. You're right. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah. So, just to repeat, my father Vizier made a pact with an ancient evil and was working towards a still unknown purpose. I managed to reveal his devilry, with Stig, and Stig managed to destroy the summoning circle. My grandmother, who loved me dearly, gave me a precious token before she left the estate. What gift from her do you cherish? She taught me the language of crows.
Okay.
Which I assume is the very strange talent in the next column over, but
yeah.
Okay.
1 second.
Okay.
Who was your grandmother and why did she leave?
I think she was both Tristan's mother's mother and our mother's mother.
So your Lord Hector's two wives have been sisters.
Yes. And our mom has been sick recently.
Okay.
And I think my grandmother fears that foul play is going on and has fled to safety.
What is her family name?
So the name that she was born to, or the name that she gained through marriage?
She gained through marriage, let's say. Before we had too many houses.
Right.
And end up with 9 novels.
Right. The Wolframs.
Nice. Okay. Did she go back to the Wolfram estates?
Yes.
What is the name of that estate or castle?
Deerheart.
I don't see what you're doing there. That's great though. Castle Deerheart, fled to safety, and she's the Dowager Duchess of Deerheart, correct? or at wolf form.
Yes.
All right. And keep going.
And that was the last one.
Okay. Nice. All right. So the last thing I'm going to do is sow some rumors and set a scene, and then we're going to do some wishes for when we actually kick off the session. I was going to do a second break, but I think with the time getting tight, we will just sort of kind of there. So one of the mechanics in this is anytime I ask you to make an ability check, instead of trying to calculate a probability or anything like that, really all you need to do is roll under the stat what it's associated with.
Under 2 or under 2 and equal?
Under 2 and equal. Thank you, Mark. That's an important one. If you have a skill that's associated with what you're doing, just check in with me, and usually I'll say yes. But if you have a skill, we treat your stat as 2 points higher. So if you have a 17, we'll treat it as a 19. If you're trying to sneak up on somebody and you have stealth, or if you're trying to figure out the name of a ghost and you know ancient history, we'll take your 15 stealth, we'll take your 15 dexterity and treat it as a 17, or your 14 intelligence and treat it as a 16, that kind of thing. Make sense? So far?
Yep.
All right. So I'm going to give each of you one of these. It involves one simple ability check that I'll tell you sort of what it is when we get there. And these are just sort of rumors that build up to the current situation. And we'll start, Leandro. You were out of the castle 3 nights ago. Why were you out of the castle?
I don't have to. Okay. Why am I out of the castle? I had a vision.
Oh, so you're following a vision?
Yes, I think when Gloria has a vision, she usually sleepwalks as well. And vision, it's open to interpretation, but it's the compound of Stone Pass getting covered up in vines, creeping vines that start to encircle the place while everyone is still doing their own thing. It's kind of like that's the dream. Everyone is still doing things, but the vines are creeping around the place.
That's creepy. Check one thing real quick before I... You were having this vision and you were out sleepwalking, and then you were awakened sort of in your vision and in the real world by the sound of horses.
Oh, yay.
And as you woke up, as you came to, you realized there was a group of horses sort of stampeding quickly down the street with people running after them, trying to catch up to them. And this is like late at night when horses, normally would be safe in their stables. And people run out into the road to see what's going on, and then see the same thing you do, that horses are barreling down towards them. And you see a child in the street. Everybody else is sort of like clearing out. You see a child in the street. Um,
Are they about to? Yeah. Are there
yeah,
horses?
yeah. So I'd like you to make a strength check.
Okay.
You're just going to try to roll equal to or under your strength.
Okay. What do I roll?
You're going to roll a d20.
Okay.
And I'll say now, I'll remind you guys of this repeatedly. I trust everybody here completely. If you want to just roll your own dice, if that's faster, that is completely fine with me. You can use the online die roller. You can use whatever works for you.
Okay. I don't think I have any skills that'll help.
It looks like,
Unless-
yeah, your skills are pretty straightforward,
Yeah.
but they're not going to kind of fit into this one.
Yeah. I don't know what religious lore Gloria knows will help her snatch
Well,
a child.
As a counter proposal, you have like an obfuscation spell or something like that, right?
This is just going to be a straight up ability check right now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay. I'll just roll it
Obscurement.
now.
Obscurement. That's what it was.
Obscure.
Yeah.
I'll roll, and that's a 16, and my strength is 12.
Yeah. So you're able to get the child to safety,
Mhm.
but you are kicked, and then you realize the horses are going through you,
Oh yeah.
and that's when people sort of stop and stare, and they realize that these horses that have been making all this noise and frightening people are actually spectral horses or ghost horses of some sort. They are ethereal or have come from somewhere else. You felt some dark energy go through you, and you're going to take, and you're going to start the next adventure or start the next session. You're going to take 2 points of damage. So you're going to be damaged by 2 points when you start the next session. And you can record that just on the character keeper in whatever order works for you.
I just take it out of hit points.
Yeah, it's going to come out of your hit points.
Cool.
Well,
not cool, but
it's going to heal a little slowly. So at the beginning of the next session, even though it's been a few days since that happened, you're going to be feeling that still as it just sort of passes through you. And again, these are going to be straight up ability checks because they're just things that have happened in the recent past before we actually get to the actual action of the story. So from there, I'm going to go to Stig. And let's roll I'm going to roll a die.
Oh, great.
12. So Stig, why were you in the inn last week? I mean, besides the obvious reasons. Or maybe it was the obvious reasons.
I was in the inn last week because I'm always looking for signs that the demon has come back.
Where would you find them in the inn? Just by talking to strangers?
Well, because most inns also have a tavern underneath or someplace to eat. So
Yeah.
sort of a local eating place. And so most people that come to the town or the village or the castle, the tavern must be outside the castle, right? So
Right.
it's in the village. And so that's where they would come and eat usually, or I'd hear news of some unusual happenings. So I'm trying to keep abreast of what's going on in the area in case the demon's making itself known.
And there was actually a traveling scholar who was leaving town that very evening on a coach. But who was socializing loudly while there. I'd like you to test your charisma.
Test my charisma. Okay, I'm just going to roll this time.
So you're going to roll 11 or under.
What did you say, 11 or under?
Yeah.
Of course, I rolled a 12.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's rough. Well,
yeah, I don't have any skills. So the only skill I have is stealth. I'm sneaky.
what did the stranger do that embarrassed you as you were asking him questions about demons?
He made it clear that I knew too much about demons, as in I knew enough that it sounded like I had had personal contact.
Oh, and he sort of called you out on this as you were asking quietly about them, about strange things. He sort of realized, I think, what you were hinting at, and sort of drunkenly, knowingly called you out.
Mm-hmm.
And you saw the innkeeper make a ward against the evil eye at you. You know, the whole, like, not the evil eye, you know, the thing that says you suspect somebody is casting evil eye at you. You're going to have until the rumor passes, you're going to have a rough time with that innkeeper or people that they talk to. Could you give me the name of the innkeeper, the current innkeeper?
Let's call him. Let's call him Ralph.
So while you're in the inn or around the inn, you're going to have a -2 to charisma rolls.
Great. The one place that we're all social. That's...
Because Ralph keeps directing people away from you. And I don't think it's possible that most other people don't believe it. But while they're in front of Ralph, nobody wants to call out the innkeeper, the one place to drink in town.
He accused me of consorting with demons. Okay.
Aitor, you've wandered into the crypts before, haven't you?
Yes.
At the castle? You know how many graves are down there, especially sort of like, you know, servants who are sort of buried with, you know, the castle. You know, it's supposed to be an honor since you've served the castle to be buried there. But, you know, unlike the lords and rulers of the castle, the names of the servants get quickly lost. And their families get quickly lost. Why were you in the kitchens?
In the kitchens of the crypts?
Well, you above the, you know, the kitchens where you access the crypts late at night.
I was drunk.
So you were drunk in the kitchen?
Yeah.
And then bursting open the door, because over time basements have been installed over the crypts, and so the crypts, you know, there's lots of practical stuff, and then you start getting into the old crypts. I mean, the Death Falls have been here centuries. I need you to check strength, because
Oh boy.
one of the doors to one of the sub-basements, from one of the basements, it burst open, and out stumbled several skeletal figures, as if they had been reanimated from the crypts.
Of course, you have to make me test my worst stat. That's a 15.
Oh no!
I failed, by the way.
You are down by 4 hit points. When things. This was just last night, and you were slowly recovering. But you were, you know, you raised the alarm. People were, but you know, being drunk was not a great way to sort of wrestle these things down. and dispatched them.
Wait, they were actual skeletons?
They were actually you didn't just see them. They were actual skeletons.
Like reanimated ones?
Like reanimated ones.
Okay.
Did you say that that he made a lot of noise? Is that what it was? Since he was in the kitchen, and
a lot of noise, was able to raise an alarm.
Oh.
Actually got wounded.
I tried fighting things while drunk. That does not usually go well.
Sometimes it goes really well, but usually not. No. That was Aitor, Stig, Gloria.
Lyssa's left.
Not least.
Exactly.
Please be the only one who actually succeeds at their role.
I'll try my best. Dexterity.
I'm not sure the dice can hear you.
And before it's actually intelligence.
Oh well.
What's that?
Fairy threats. Oh no.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
What?
The sheet you held up said fairy threats.
I'm assembling several things together, so I'm looking for my best option.
So far, a lot of undead.
Maybe that's where our demon went. Maybe he just went into the crypts.
Last night, how late were you up in the tower?
I have a couple answers in mind.
Okay.
But let me just throw out something that I realized that since we've been building our characters. Maria, what was the name of the wine merchant that
Marissa.
Marissa?
Mm-hmm.
I think I have a crush on Marissa. So either I wasn't in the tower very long because I was trying to hang out with her, or I was in the tower pretty much all night. So what works best for you?
Well, I was drunk last night, so I probably saw Marissa.
Oh, okay. All right, then I was in the tower by myself then. Maybe I was pouting. Yeah, because I'm jealous. I'm pouting because I'm jealous.
Nice.
Stupid brother. Stupid name.
You were pouting,
Yes.
and then you started to hear a voice.
Is that you?
And the voice kept repeating, "The Grey Prince is coming, the Grey Prince is coming, the Grey Prince is coming."
Roll sanity.
Right?
I need you to test your wisdom.
Wisdom. All right. My character sheet says that I have a wisdom of 10. So I will roll.
Oh, hey, you actually succeeded.
I got a 2.
Very good. You realize you're asleep,
Okay.
but just before you wake up, you see an image that you can't get out of your mind of a man who looks like, 1,000 portraits and statues you see all over your castle, but of pure gray. It's a little like a cross between being made of stone or being out of the morning light.
Okay.
And he walked towards you.
Oh, okay.
And then you heard I'll do you a favor. And this morning when you woke up in the tower,
Uh-huh.
people were looking for you in the castle. Outside the castle, people were looking for Ralph, the innkeeper, who's gone missing.
Okay. What do I think the favor was?
You think his initial target was Marisa.
Okay. Very cool. Very cool.
Oh, hey.
That does answer an important question for me, though, and I meant to ask. And Lyssa, Stig, who is Stig's secret crush, secret paramour, or dearest friend?
And what are you looking for?
Just a name. Either a secret crush, secret paramour, or dearest friend.
Let's see. Secret crush, secret paramour, dearest friend.
If you have more than one, I'm glad to take them, but I don't want to
No,
just toss you down the.
You want the target. I know you want the target. Let's say. Let me decide. Well, why don't you choose a random name generator and then I'll have one for you. Oh. Mile. If they're written like this, then it's got a funny sign over it that I can't quite figure out.
I would just skip the funny signs.
Yeah, I know. And that is. Who would that be? So who would it be? It'd have to be somebody in the castle, wouldn't it? So that I could actually interact with them probably more often. So let's make it the stable boy.
Friend, crush.
No, actually, yeah. Let's make it like the Smithy's apprentice. And,
Okay.
yeah, let's make it a crush.
What is this person's name?
Mael.
Mael, you want the full name?
Would you spell that for me real quick?
Yeah, it's in chat. Mael and.
Oh, sorry. I apologize. I should have known. Thank you. Male or female?
Male.
Okay. Thank you. Aitor. Secret crush, secret paramour, or secret friend, or dearest friend.
Roland.
Which category is that in?
Guy who blows me a lot.
Ah.
Everyone is super gay in here, guys.
I don't know. It's so much surprise.
I like roll the die.
Actually, he's bi. Aitor is bi. Just saying.
Gotcha. That's cool. And Gloria, do you have a secret crush, secret paramour, or dearest friend?
I haven't decided which one yet, but her name's Cherie, and she is now kind of like a priest in training.
Okay.
Yeah. I kind of decided. Yeah, no, they have female priests here. Sure, why not? Everyone's gonna be gay. Let's all be egalitarian a bit. Yeah. So yeah, she's kind of like the local priest. I'd say secret crush. Yeah, that makes sense because
Perfect.
I love how everyone sees secret crush is like mine, which is just he blows me already.
if only we could all be so brave, but no.
No, it's because you're noble. This is like your noble arrogance, right? There's no love involved. He just blows me.
Well, I'm also the wild one, so it's like I've gotta do the extra brave shit and have a guy blow me. So
You are the wild one. All right. We're gonna start next week on Market Day, and I'm gonna ask one question of Stig and Aitor. I think are the people best positioned to notice this. It's Market Day, which means there are tons of livestock in town. The two of you, Stig and Aitor, what tells you that there's something wrong with the beast, that they're getting tense?
They tell me. I have the cantrip.
Animal speech, or
It's called Beast. What is it called? Beast Ken, I think.
yeah.
So I probably see that they're acting funny and ask them, and they can tell me that, or I overhear the conversation. I like the idea of me walking through the market and overhearing the gossip of the animals.
You normally hear that, except now all that is being whispered between all the animals, regardless of type, is they're going to eat us. They're going to eat us. Did you hear? They're going to eat us. Aitor, what is it you notice about the market?
the market or the animals?
The animals that suggest to you that things are tense.
So since Crystal went with the Smithy's apprentice, I'm gonna say Roland is the stable boy, so he's complaining about the animals.
All right.
And actually struggling with them.
Okay. We will pick up from there next week. I am really, really glad you guys did. You guys did a great job of character creation, and I am hoping everything we do lives up to that. And I am going to cut the broadcast.